This video was on the transfer portal, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some of the changes that I think are imminent that will benefit not only the players transferring, but the institutions that they're transferring into, and all the parties that are involved. Bottom line is this: I don't have a problem with the transfer portal. I certainly don't have a problem with the NIL. I'm for everybody getting their bread. Everybody has some interest when it comes to name, image, and likeness. And for all those that are benefiting from it, keep getting your Skrilla, because Lord knows life is too short and things change. So it's good to be covered, and especially better to be covered financially. With that said, when money's involved, you're going to have a whole lot of people scheming and cheating. How many spam calls do you take a day? That's just one example of people trying to get over on, in the case of spam calls, they're trying to get over on the most vulnerable in our society, which I think is effed up. But, you know, if there aren't some rules put in place to govern how NIL is managed, and how the transfer portal is managed, it's ripe for mismanagement. And you're going to have all types of people coming in, scheming, trying to get over on the athletes, and all this other nonsense that that could get into something that's beneficial and good to turn it into something bad and ugly. You know, the WNBA draft is right around the corner. It's tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So if you're in NY, you know, it may benefit you if you have some time on your hands. Support these ladies not by clicks, likes, and by commenting only. They offer those tickets to the draft. They're for sale. So if you really want to be in the know and you don't want to be somebody who's speculating and spreading rumors and things of that nature, go get yourself a ticket. It's a couple of $100. You can go sit at the draft, take some pictures, and be a part of history. Bottom line, everything costs some money. Spend money to make money if you're in that position. If you have a platform, continue doing what you're doing and try to be as accurate as possible. All I'm saying is that if you're going to have something to say about something, don't be speculative, right? Don't talk about what you think's going on inside the conference room. Try to get in the conference room. It's easy. I think the WNBA draft tickets, the last time I checked, through a variety of different portals, and then I came up with an average, they're like maybe $2 and some change. So you can go and sit and watch these young women get drafted and see where they're going, and get to be a part of that whole process. I think it's pretty cool. With that said, hey, we got a lot of activity. We got a lot of activity going on. My resume, veteran, former coach, former athlete, doing pretty well for myself now. So, you know, I can talk from a position of validation, right? But at the same time, I don't have any skin in the game. And to be quite frank, the iron's hot. Right now is a good time for women's sports, and in particular, women's basketball. If anyone within the sound of my voice knows anyone that wants to play sports, be it high school, be it collegiate and beyond, definitely encourage them. Mostly because they have a legitimate love for the game. They have a legitimate love for the game, and they enjoy it, and it becomes a part of their fabric. Then yeah, by all means, the rest of the stuff is going to come. It's going to come. The success is going to come. The accolades, the money, all that stuff will come. But, you know, I feel very strongly about encouraging young women, and especially encouraging young athletes. With that said, man, we got some movement. One of the moves is great. I couldn't be happier. Without further ado, the Paldo twins, Mia and Maya, pardon me, from Patterson. They're coming home from Tennessee. They're going to Rutgers. Coach Reedus, who is familiar with them, has a great backcourt set. These two young ladies are very talented. If you're not aware of them, I suggest that you go on YouTube, plug in a name. They go by the moniker Twin Backcourt. Check them out. They're phenomenal. And I couldn't be happier that they're coming back to Rutgers women's basketball, because Rutgers women's basketball, they needed this energy. After the Coach Washington years of less than stellar results, from a program perspective, they could use some new infusion and some success. Some great players have come through there. Some great players have come through there. Some players that I think should have been drafted have come through the Rutgers program. So shout out to Coach Guy Reedus and his team over at Rutgers. You now have the Paldo twins, who have 1 year under their belt. So I'm looking for some great things to come out of Jersey Mike's Arena and that team in particular. Shout out to Destiny Adams, by the way. Destiny Adams and her brother Darius, who's a standout at Maryland. She's overseas doing some real things. Good young woman, good people. My hope for her on a personal level is that she's able to work her way back into a WNBA position, and somebody will recognize just her heart, her energy, man. She puts a lot of passion to the game, and certainly deserving. I was as shocked as anyone when I didn't see her name called in last year's draft, but who knows what the future holds. But the Paldo twins have found a home. Nevaeh Caffey, this was one that I was real happy to see. Nevaeh Caffey moved from Indiana, and she is on her way to a new program. She's going over to Missouri. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I expected Nevaeh to move someplace else, but Missouri is not a bad place to go. I felt like her play and her style of play would have been better suited for, I was hoping she would have maybe gone to Notre Dame. Notre Dame needs a true point, somebody that could take some of that offensive weight off of Hannah and give the other players a break. I felt like she would have been a better use, but we'll see. Jada Williams has moved on to LSU. So she's going to be down with Kim Mulkey. I kind of saw that coming. This will be Jada's senior season. So to have her be a part of a great team, I felt like she should have been there from the beginning. But who am I? Who else do we have here? We have Jada Lampe is also going over to Rutgers. Who else do we have here? We got a lot of movement. I'm just going through the numbers here. Let us see. Okay. Just running through the list here to see if I see anything else of interest. Ooh. Something that I saw but didn't mention. It hasn't been revealed publicly, but I think Audie Crooks is going to Notre Dame. That is a great fit. She's a junior, going into her senior season as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's a good fit. If she ends up at Notre Dame, that's a good inside presence that I think that Notre Dame needs. The only thing that I'd like to see Audie develop is her outside game. When I think centers that have mobility and can hit from a variety of different spots, A'ja Wilson is basically my template that I use. So to have a center standing at the top of the key, looking for somebody to pass it to is insane to me. You have to be able to make shots. You got to be able to drive. You got to be nimble. You should be all those things. Any teams that I've been involved with personally, They represent players that are interchangeable, and people, if you're open, you take that shot. Um, Especially if it's something that we work on. If you come up open, you take that shot. If you don't take that shot, then we have to rework things. But no bad shots, no time wasted, no wasted energy. One of the things that I stress, and who knows, at some point maybe I'll get back into it, is I like a high energy, and I like people that get to that cup. I like people to get to that cup. So Audie Crooks hasn't been publicly disclosed yet, but I think she'll end up with Notre Dame, and I think that'll be a good move. Let's see who else we have here. Bum, 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 bum. That's crazy, man. I'm not going to get into the whole tea on Iowa State and their whole roster deciding to make a move. That's been talked about enough. I don't know any of the coaches. I don't know why things were as they were. So I'm going to leave that to the other people. There's already enough people talking about this. Whoa, what is this? Antonia Bates, a senior, is making a move. I love Antonia Bates. She's a real sweetheart. Because of her injury, I don't think she had enough time to acclimate herself into a program built around movement. I don't see anybody really making a move. I think her transfer portal entry may be withdrawn. I think that when she looks around, if she in fact wants to play professionally, I think the best place for her would be to rock out with Rutgers. There's a lot of people that say that they're good ball players and they're in college. And to that, I say, hey, if you're really a good basketball player and you consider yourself the bomb.com and all that nonsense, well, then you and your team should be playing into March. You should be in a tournament doing something. If things have meshed well, you should be playing into March. If they haven't, I haven't yet to see a single player representative of a team or move a team by themselves into the next level of play. Again, like I said, there's a lot of people in the scheme of NIL that are out here making money. And guess what? They'll never suit up for a WNBA team. They'll be playing overseas. They'll be making some money, but it just hits different when you have an opportunity to play in a W. So for anybody that's really serious about this, and this is a theme of a lot of my videos, have sense of purpose, have a true sense of self, right? And then be committed to the decisions that you make. Commitment is everything. So think of it like this. If you never played sports again in your life, right, you're still going to have to be committed to something. You're still going to have to get out and get a job, have a career, be involved with your family. So if you don't learn the tenets and the fundamentals of how to honor obligations and handle commitments, God help you if you get a credit card. You'd be running around with a maxed out card and the bank's chasing you trying to get their money. And I don't say that jokingly. There's a lot of adults doing that. There are a lot of people all around this great country of ours that are doing that. They're totally irresponsible. And they're always looking for somebody to bail them out. Don't be that type of individual. Honor your obligations. If you make a commitment to do something, honor that. Honor that commitment. Stop with this nonsensical approach to life where you feel that I could just bounce and do what I want whenever I want and you're not accountable to anybody. That's BS. Think of it like this. How many people do you see speeding every day? Doing 90, 100 miles an hour. They go whipping around you, man, like you standing still and don't care. And you know what the crazy thing is? They do that until they see a marked police cruiser. Then they step on every brake in the area. If they could, they step on a brake in your car. The reason they do that is people feel like they can do what they want up until the time when somebody goes to hold them accountable. Then they all of a sudden, I didn't mean it, looking for a break and all that stuff. No, don't be like them. Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to a very high standard. Hold yourself to the best things in life, and God is my witness. You will be blessed and rewarded with the absolute best things in life. I was on live yesterday, and there was a bunch of trolls, right? The funny thing about them is that up until recently, I haven't had enough time to be able to have some content and do some videos about some things. So, you jump in, and like a lot of people that are content creators across the board, no matter where you create content for, the one thing that I always tell people is that it takes a commitment, right? You have to commit to doing videos. You got to commit to editing until you get to a point where you can hire somebody to do those things for you. Usually a one-man band. You're playing the guitar, you're playing the keys, you're playing the drum, you're doing the mix downs, you're putting out the material, you're labeling the project, you're doing everything. You are a one-stop shop. So with that in mind, it takes a lot. And to be quite frank, many people don't have the commitment it takes to get up and do something for themselves. That's just the truth of the matter. There's some people that I don't deal with on a personal level because they lack accountability and commitment. Why am I going to help you and I don't hear from you? Or if you come to me for something, you waste my time, which is even worse because we don't know how much time we have in this life and on this earth. So with that said, honor your commitments, and things that are meant to be yours will come to you. Trust me. This studio that I sit in now, it took time. You got to get equipment. You got to get different things that are representative of a message that you want to convey while you're doing these videos and having these things to say. And it takes a lot. So if you are committed, set aside some time, commit some of your resources, and do it the right way. If you're not, that's cool too. Everything is not for everybody. I say this a lot. Some people are meant to be warriors and soldiers. Some people are meant to supply the soldiers. It's been like that from the beginning of time. Some people are meant to bring sandwiches and make the food. Some people are meant to stay back and offer medical assistance. Not everybody's meant to hold a rifle. So if that is you and you're not meant to hold a rifle, there's no big deal. Not everybody's built for that type of action. The people that are, they're gone. They do what they have to do. But that doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to be involved in the process. So what am I saying? It all comes back down to accountability and honoring commitments. No matter what you do, be pure in your intentions and everything else will come your way. God is my witness. If you are pure of intention and you are absolutely committed to the thing that you said that you wanted to do for yourself, nothing can stop you. You may have to filter out the noise. And I don't mean just random noises or somebody playing loud music. I mean the noise coming in from the people around you, the naysayers, the people that want to leech off your energy. Sometimes you have to quiet them down. Sometimes you got to mute them. Sometimes you got to cut them off. Sometimes you got to turn your phone off and not answer text messages, right? Because they'll serve as a draining your resource. And the next thing you know, you won't have the energy that you need to get to where you want to go to. Being able to recognize that when it happens is key and critical. I'll give you an example. The women that are at the shed right now in New York City waiting to be drafted into the WNBA tomorrow, where there's a minimum salary of $250 large and a supermax of 1.5, I believe. Forgive me if my numbers are a little bit off. Guess what? They didn't get that way by listening to naysayers. They didn't get that way by hanging out and responding to everybody's call whenever they call and by making time for people when you're only a convenience and an option for them. No, they had to cut people off and maintain absolute razor line focus on what they wanted to do for themselves. And the end result is now they have an opportunity of a lifetime that most people don't get. Remember, if it was as easy as most people think it is, everybody be doing it. But it's not. So, with that said, congratulations to all of these ladies that are finding themselves with new beginnings. For those that still have challenges that lay ahead for themselves, I hope that they could recognize that they need to maybe be more introspective instead of allowing the voices from outside to control the moves they make. Nothing is worse than being a drone and having somebody else basically program you. When that happens, you wake up, and at some point you do wake up. You don't even recognize yourself. And opportunities that have been meant for you from the beginning, you pass them by and they're gone. They're now somebody else's blessings and rewards. You don't want to be that way. You want to be a person that stands up, stands on integrity, stands on truth, stands on hard work and effort, and I guarantee you the money will come. You won't catch me on a personal level showboating about anything, really, because that time has passed, right? I'm an older guy. I have obligations. I have people that look to me for help and assistance and that rely on my abilities because we are all unique in this world of ours. But it's much more rewarding to be a part of the fabric of something so strong, gifted by God, that can't be separated. Once you have a good, clean cinch on something, it can't be separated. Nobody can get in. Like an airtight chamber. That's how you have to be sometimes. So with that in mind, God bless you all. Glad you all took a moment to chop it up with me. There's still a lot of things that I have to do with the studio here to get it where I need to be. Like this crazy mount is going nuts. And there's still a lot of projects that are expected that I'm actually kind of behind schedule on that I'm going to be looking to introduce as well. But I just wanted to come and add the voice of reason, which is what this channel was meant to be from the beginning. The first day I did it, one of the things I wanted to do was have it be a resource for people. A resource. You come in, you got a crazy day, but maybe you watched the movie and you saw something that was hilarious that maybe only you caught, and then you find out that hundreds of thousands of people have caught the same thing. Now y'all all get a chance to sit back and laugh about it. Or you see something that you didn't catch that maybe I caught. That's what it was meant. It was meant to be different. It was meant to not represent in any way, shape, or form any type of clickbait, luring you in, and then you find that I'm talking about something different. Look, people that are doing that, whatever. The gods of YouTube will catch up with them at some point. As for this place, it's going to be a resource for you. You can shout me out. You can add a comment in. There'll be some new updates going up. I have a video that's being created now that'll kind of pop the channel off in the beginning by have some really good music attached to it from some really good friends that I know that also do that thing. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. If you notice, I'm not a guy that's going to rehash things. If it's something that comes up and a lot of people are already talking about it, you won't hear it from me, because it doesn't make sense to go into a room where everybody's talking about the same thing and then starting a new conversation about the same thing that everybody else is talking about. I'm not doing that. It's got to be unique. It's got to be fresh. Shout me out. Ask me a question. And I try to go at least live. I'm going to try to do that. If it's not something super sporadic, which will be rare, it'll probably be on Sundays. So one video a week, I'm thinking should get us going across into some really interesting areas, some very interesting topics. There's some things I want to discuss in the future that involve men's health. men's health is big. Everyone's health is big, but men's health in particular, because guys do not go to the doctor. So, with that said, men, get your screenings done, get your blood work done, go to the dentist, spend a day at the dentist if you need to get that situation under control. But for the most part, go and get your screenings done. Your PSAs, your prostate antigen levels, your colon, your liver. Go and get screened for these cancers because they can save your life. It can absolutely save your life. So, with that said, I'll see you all next time. Thank you for